Right, ladies and gentlemen, this video series is going to be dealing with getting started with the first painting projects with actual acrylic paint. We're going to be talking about different kinds of ways to paint, different ways to get to the end result, and getting set up thereof. So some of these paintings I'm going to do with still life, and they're going to come in sections of about 3 or 4, and they're going to break it down, how to get started with the process, how to paint, underpaint, and how to paint over, and then to the final product. So, and I'll be giving explanations as I go along. So there's going to be definitely more than one video to this series. So watch all of them and enjoy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to use canvas paper. Now, canvas paper is pretty nice. It is a little bit like canvas, a little bit like paper, hence canvas paper. Before you move on to actual canvas, I'd like you to try out this paper first. And there's different kinds of media you can use. It's a little bit like watercolor paper, but it has more tooth, more texture to it. Pay attention to the color. One side's white, one side is off-white. You want the white side. So yes, you're gonna put it down on a drawing board. You're not going to do paint on the drawing board. No paint should be on the drawing board during, after use of said drawing board. Keep my drawing boards clean. Paint dries, and then it creates texture, and then people get irritated later when they gotta use it. So you're going to tape it down just like you would do for watercolor. You start with the top, and then you go around in a circle, putting the tape on the edges so that it stays flat and secure while you are painting. This is the start for any painting that you do. This will be the start. If you're using this material on a constant basis, you're going to need to tape it down to a drawing board or a flat surface of some kind. It helps keep it flat because you're going to be adding moisture to it, and like all paper, even watercolor paper tends to crinkle up a little bit, and you want to keep it as flat as possible. These are your tools that you're going to be using. One is a palette knife that I just picked up. Palette knives are good for mixing paint. They're also good for getting paint. And you're going to have a wide brush, flat. You're going to have a round brush, medium, that's the green one. And you should have a round brush, more acute, more fine, for smaller details. Those are the tools that you're going to pretty much be using. So, wide brush will be used to create and paint wide surfaces and large surfaces. Medium brush can do the same thing, but also has the versatility of getting in tighter in certain areas, and for real finite small areas, the round pointed brush, small brush, will definitely use. So I've already put pencil lead on the back of this. I am going to trace over the top so I can get it. Notice that I'm tilting the paper, so I'm trying to think of my composition and make it more interesting than just slapping the paper down on top of the other paper and just copying the image. You want to tilt it, you want to do something different to the image than just copying the image over again. You want to change it. It should be inspiration, it should not be copying. So for this particular still life, I chose to tilt it a little bit, and I am now tracing around all the parts of the still life. With the pencil lead on the back, it is going to render nicely on the back of this, on the page that I want to paint as a guide. It's not going to be overly dark, it's going to be faint, it's going to be light. That's how you want your pencil lines to be. You don't want an overly dark pencil line because you don't want that to bleed or leak through the paint. You want to look as if you painted it completely. So you can see here I'm going over most of the areas. Some people just want a general look where all the stuff is, and they go from there. This is basically what I did. Some people like to map it out completely. You choose which one you want to do. Do you want an outline of the items just for placement, or do you want also placement of where the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights are? I've seen lots of artists will put hints where the shadow's supposed to be, circles and so forth, or the shapes, or where the highlights are supposed to be. I'm just doing a basic outline of the form, and I'm working from there. You can see that you can barely see the image. Before you rip it off, take a double check and make sure that you've got everything. Trace, because sometimes we miss a few things. You want to make sure that paper's in place so you have unity of the entire item and not have something kind of be off and your eye goes right towards it. I darkened up a few pencil lines, but you cannot see the pencil lines altogether. This is what you're going to need to do to get started off. The next step is we're going to be painting.